Yeah, we back. We all the way back. It's your boy Jay Green, Green Room TV, and I got the first ever Green Room album reviews. Green Room reviews, you know what I'm saying? And so I ain't gonna waste no time. I'm gonna get straight into it. The first album we got on, the first ever Green Room review, is, of course, it's your boy, Dwayne Carter, man. Carter 6, man. All right, now listen up. I'm going to just start it like this. Carter 6 is trash, man. Straight boo-boo, basura. Straight trash. Nah, I'm playing. We ain't going to do Wayne like that. But I will say this album is straight certified mid. Like real mid, though. You know what I'm saying? Do I want mid? Hell no. But it's mid. It ain't trash. I think Lil Wayne's at a point where he can't just drop trash. You know what I'm saying? He shows signs that he could, but it ain't trash. It's mid. A lot of people ran away with the review, and a lot of people went the trash route, real critical. Because, you know, Wayne is a staple for a lot of people, especially in the newer era. A lot of people grew up on Wayne. You feel me? But this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to judge these albums, you know, on my own scale. I got a 25-point criteria. I'm going to put that in the comments and the description, and y'all do your own thing. So it's 25 different criteria, and I'm judging on them a 1 to 5 scale, right? Okay. And so with that, I average it out, and I'm going to get an album a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. And if you want to put it on this 10 scale, times it by 2. But I'm doing it like this. I'm not being nice. I'm not being nice with the grading scale. I'm being real rigid, and I'm being real cutthroat. I'm being real hip hop. I'm being real street, and I'm being real green room style, right? So I'm judging these like Tupac back, right? I'm judging these like Pimp C came back 2025 and went straight to the radio in Atlanta. Like Dolph back, like Nipsey back, like Kobe Bryant back, right? That's how we doing it. And it just is what it is. If you don't like my reviews, you go do your own, right? But we gonna get straight into it. I got highlights, I got lowlights, and I also got my main takeaways. And then we gonna put it together, you know what I'm saying? And keep it green and always get our green up. I'm gonna start with the highlights instead of the lowlights because H comes before L. This is how it goes. So let me just say, dope bars will always be a highlight for Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne will always have dope bars. It's just like he's like the top of the top when it comes to like bar rap. Only thing he never really did battling, and you know, battling is where bar rap really ascended to its like furthest tentacle. You know what I'm saying? But neither here nor there. My favorite bar on the album is ran off on the plug like a Tesla, nigga. It just something about that made me fucking giggle. The nigga made me giggle. You feel me? That's Lil Wayne. All right. Another thing, I will say this. This album more so exposed Lil Wayne. Like, you always look at Lil Wayne like he just doing so much sorcery and shit, but the nigga really simple as shit, right? And he has no substance. The worst thing about Lil Wayne is he'll never have substance, and this album proved it. But a highlight is that he tried to like have a little substance. You could see he tried, right? A E for effort. He tried to have some substance, and I saw the most of his substance pathway was talking about his kids. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. He was definitely giving me LeBron James, 1 year left on the Lakers. Luka's about to take over the team. We know you're not winning shit, but you on your LeBron farewell shit. Also, I will say that the Carter brand, like as far as an album, if his next album is Carter 7, ain't nobody fucking with it. If he drops Carter 7, I'm not reviewing that shit. The Carter brand is done. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? For real. No more Carter. You got to come with something new. You got all the milk out of that. But I will say this. He tried. He tried to have substance. He didn't really have substance, but he tried. So this is a highlight. Another highlight is that this album is kind of versatile. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like a organic versatile. It's like you could tell he was like, hey, make this type. Hey, we got to do this. Lil Wayne is a big fish in the rap game. So ain't no way he just going in the studio and giving you some organic shit like he did back in the day. It's impossible. You know, people are telling him, hey, look, if you want to get a Grammy, the Grammy people probably called him like, look, we need this, this, that, and the third. He had a lot of features, decent features, but the album is versatile. And if you never grew up listening to Lil Wayne, I feel like this album is a good synopsis of what you could get from Lil Wayne. Like if you never grew up listening in this era, you're a young person now, you get to understand like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But it's not enough of the shit that he really was about on this album, okay? This album also, it really, like I said, exposed shit. It exposed that Wayne has multiple careers. Lil Wayne is basically LeBron of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? He's not Kobe. He's not Jordan. He's LeBron. Lil Wayne had the Hot Boys, Lights Out, Block is Hot, 500 Degrees. That's one career. Then he had the Squad Up, Carter 1, Carter 2, Carter 3. That's one career. Then he had 4, 5, 6, and now hopefully never 7. Yeah, that's what's going on. But in this, I see the parallels because he got putting his kids on with the nepotism, and he's LeBron, but his kids is definitely on some Bronny shit. Is this album a no-skip album? You know what? Yes, this album is a no-skip album. This is an album you listen to from front to back. I listened to this all week because I wanted to give a genuine review for Lil Wayne, right? And if it wasn't Lil Wayne, I would have skipped through shit. But because it's Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? I made sure I listened to everything so I could critique. And that's a plus and a minus for Wayne. But it's a Lil Wayne, you're going to make sure you listen to his shit. And that just is what it is, right? Another highlight was features. Overall, I give his features more on the lower end of the scoring scale. I don't think he did good with the features, but I say a highlight is the Big X the Plug feature. I feel like most people will say the song with Big X the Plug, Hip Hop, is probably the best song on there. Not my favorite song, but I could see a lot of people saying and should be the feature. And I also think a lot of people need to put more respect on Big X the Plug name. You feel me? I feel like Big X the Plug is like, yeah. I feel like it's the best feature because it's the only feature that felt organic and natural and the vibe carried me, but it also felt like what the whole album should have sounded like. And it felt like you hear Wayne doing his thing, but when Big X comes on, you can feel it. It's just something. Big X got something. People got it, but I feel like that's the best total song on there. Not my favorite, but yeah, that's a highlight. Shout out to Big X the Plug, for real. Another highlight that I think that a lot of people, I don't think ever pay attention to, is that Lil Wayne, especially in the first quarter of the album, even snippets throughout the album, he showed a lot of homage to East Coast hip hop, especially on songs like Bells, which I believe is the third song, maybe the fourth, but the third song. And that song is basically recreating LL Cool J type lyrics from a classic song that LL Cool J had. But Lil Wayne has always done that. Lil Wayne has always been a guy who idolized the East Coast, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like I said, you got All Star coming out, you got Gotti coming out, you got Spitter coming out, first artist on Young Money. You got my album in stores, Carter 2. Everything's moving the way it's supposed to be moving. I got movie deals, though. I just signed a contract with Reebok, BBC, and Bape. Shit's crazy, son. Shit I ain't never even, you know what I mean?
But he's a giant in the South. But one thing for certain that this album exposed to me is that Lil Wayne definitely in the part of his career where he got that zoom, he was listening to a lot of East Coast rap. And what he did was he repackaged a lot of East Coast style, culture, rhyme styles, bars, and schemes from their mixtape culture. Like if you take out other mixtape artists, of course, Lil Wayne is the greatest mixtape rapper. Some people say, but of course in the South, he's one of them. Jeezy, Gucci, whatever. But Lil Wayne repackaged a lot of East Coast styles and brought it to the South. You know what I'm saying? And he shows so much homage. Even in the intro, his intro is more of an East Coast style in like intro. Something a Jigga, a Meek, somebody would do. And a lot of people, I don't think they take heed to that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Lil Wayne, I like that he showed homage. And that's a plus. But he definitely took some East Coast, like he took early 2000 East Coast culture, like East Coast, not East Coast culture, but East Coast mixtape culture, and repackaged it in a Southern way and brought it to the South. And that's not a bad thing. And then he put it on steroids. The bars, the punchlines, everything, the whole way about it is East Coast shit, but Southern shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a main takeaway too. But one of the biggest highlights is that first week sales projected at 110 to 140. He drops 130 first week, 35,000 physical copies bought. I mean, 35,000 people in the US, UK, wherever in the world went out and bought Lil Wayne's Carter 6. Forever, he's a highlight reel when it comes to the numbers. Lil Wayne first week averages like 250 first week ever since like yo, father like son. He platinum on everything. Lil Wayne, like I said earlier, will always be a big fish. And so he can do things like he really does. But his core fan base, the ones who exalted him to the position he was at, to where he could say, okay, let me incorporate like mainstream styles, alternative styles, and get fan bases that, of course, will take him to the next level. But his core fan base wants a certain type of Wayne, and you're definitely not gonna get that right now. It's over. The Carter series, it's over. He drops the Carter 7, he's gonna fuck up his record of sales. I'm just telling you. Now, another highlight, of course, along with that is being #2 on the Billboard Top 200 with his album. Great. I think this, like I said earlier, this album has a good mix of all of the styles that Lil Wayne incorporated throughout his career, but not enough of the styles that make him who he is, right? But he's on Universal Records. He got that machine behind him, right? It don't matter. He's gonna get a Grammy. You feel me? And that's just is what it is. Thinking back to everything, looking at it, looking at the whole projection, I took a long time to drop my review, but here's the thing. When you look at it, this man had the best timing for dropping his Carter 6 ever. You can look on Hip Hop DX, Google, everything. There's no mainstream rapper who's dropping an album in the month of June. They probably not allowed because Universal runs the whole globe of music. But Lil Wayne, they're going to be talking about this album for the next month or two. Whether you like it or not, he got the cheat code. And that is what it is. And that's a highlight. You know what I'm saying? And this is for Lil Wayne, like I said, who's a big fish, it's about business. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's a highlight for real. And lastly, he got the competitive edge because of that. And competitive edge is one of my criteria, that I judge by. He's got that edge. Like, this is the thing. When you're doing this type of shit, you got to be competitive and be, you know what I'm saying? And Lil Wayne got it. Say what you want to say. Before I get into my lowlights, I'm going to give you my main takeaways. My main takeaways is that Carter 6 showed no growth. No growth as an artist, only growth in business. You know what I'm saying? And I never looked at Wayne as a businessman. It just is what it is. But no growth. It's almost like descending growth. Like you went backward, like you got a little bit smaller. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, I do not feel like Wayne. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, we already know what the type of artist he is. They always add this like alternative mainstream shit because that's what the business does. But you still talking about the same shit. You still don't got no substance. You still eating pussy, fucking bitching, like you know what I'm saying? He's talking the street shit that you might have did and never done. Who gives a fuck? But I'm just saying, it's no growth. Next, you are not the GOAT. You are GOAT type, GOAT-ish, one of the GOATs. But this album proved to me that you are not the GOAT in this rap thing. And if you are a person who thinks he is, you might need to step back a little bit, converse with a lot of more knowledgeable people, right? And listen to some more hip hop because this shit be going on in 50 years. He's not the greatest of all time. And that's no disrespect. I feel like this album just exposed that. Another low light is that, yes, he incorporated his kids, little Novi, his son with Nivea. He also incorporated Cameron Carter, who is his son with Lauren London. But them songs didn't have a substance either. But he's on his songs with these little kids, and he's still talking the same crazy drugs, sex, pussy, fuck, just wild shit. And to me, it just and the songs were like kiddie songs made for like Bow Wow in fucking '06. You don't understand? Like like young songs. But then he comes on, and I'm just like, yeah. But his kids definitely got the Bronny James package, the nepotism, and there's nothing wrong with it. And they're absolutely performing like Bronny James. Low light. Um, Substance, of course. The biggest low light of Lil Wayne's career. No substance. We never got a real Holly Grove story. We never got that real 11-year-old on tour with Cash Money. My mother signed off story. Like the groupie story. Like we never got that. We never got that. You ain't talking about nothing, man. Now, did he give the people what they want? Absolutely not. You shown signs of it, splashes, but ultimately you did not give the people who are your people, who are really the ones who exalted you to the position where you are as an artist. You didn't give them what they want. You gave them that emo shit, that alternative shit. You gave them funny shit. The worst song on the album was Peanuts to an Elephant. You had this weird elephant sample, all this other weird shit, talking about weird shit, shouting out Donald Trump. The shit was mad corny, and it was smack dab in the middle of the album, and it really fucked up all the vibe after that. You know what I'm saying? You're forever gonna have little nigga raps. You know, you're never gonna have them big grown man, bossy, masculine raps. You're always gonna be that guy who has like a kiddie approach to the rap thing. And that's cool. And that's a low light, but you were exposed on this album. It's true. I'm not making this up. And then really when I listen to some of this, like the choruses, most people did your other choruses. When you did your choruses, it had a lot of weak shit on the choruses. But it just, you only had a couple good choruses. It really exposes that you're really just a mixtape rapper with mainstream appeal, ultimately. The hooks were weak. The continuity was low. I didn't get that feel like you were just giving me the whole run through, and the choruses are a big part of that. Even though my favorite song is Written History, my favorite chorus on the fucking album. It's like you was giving me the bars, you was giving me yourself, you was rapping, you gave me the vibe, and you hit that hook. It kind of gave me a Young Weezy got that motherfucking hustler music vibe to it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But also, there's another song that was a highlight to me, and that song was the Blood song. And the Blood song, Not it's not the blood song, but it's called it's Yoki's Kayoki's. Hold on, let's see. Let's look it up right now. Yeah, Loki's theme. It's called Loki's theme. And so Loki, I don't know who Loki is, Loki, but being that Lil Wayne is like probably the most famous blood rapper of all time, right? It's kind of dope that he had a song that had so many blood lingos and references. The beat wasn't really my type, but the song really grew on me. But he was talking a lot of underhanded blood shit, which was dope. You feel me? Because you're the King Blood, right? You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not, I ain't gonna try to be too facetious, but of course, Lil Wayne is, blood rap for real. And then a highlight was that he had Manny Fresh, but it ended up turning into a low light because when I seen Manny Fresh as a feature, I just knew I was gonna get some fresh, the shit that we really love from Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I thought we was gonna get some. Don't let your mouth open up. You don't wanna see them handguns open up. Oh, I didn't. We didn't get that. No, I seen him on there. I didn't like the song. I didn't like the beat. I guess he produced the beat. It's like he was trying something different, but I didn't hear Fresh rapping or saying nothing. Very underwhelming. Highlight that you had him on there because he should have been on. It's because it's called the Carter, right? It's a lot of people who should have been on the Carter. Now, another low light is that ultimately this album was underwhelming. This album really didn't put us where we wanted to be. We didn't. It's this album is not a classic. It's underwhelming. You put the Carter on it, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say this: the Barter Six by Young Thug, sonically, is better than Carter 4, 5, and 6. Sonically, you understand what I'm saying? Not the bars, not the anticipation, all that, but just the sound. It sounded better. Like we got so many different sounds on this album. We don't get the we don't get to nod our head along long enough. It's just, yo, Wheezy, Wheezy F baby, please say the baby, man. Um, play guitar song, trash. Um, song with it's just the features didn't fit, man. The features didn't fit, man. It's like it's like the record label told you who to put the features on, and that's very, very, you know. But ultimately, this the first ever, Green Room review. I do fuck with a lot of songs. My favorite songs on here, the 7 of the 19 are hip hop. Of course, that's the one with Big X the Plug. And by having this song, calling it hip hop, that's what I meant, what he was saying, with a lot of homage in other songs. Banned from NO, that's another song that I feel like, yeah, yeah, this is like, it gave me Louisiana flavor, but it gave me that energy that we really love from Wayne. And what we ultimately love and really get from Wayne, nothing more, nothing less, is those crazy bars and that energy. You feel me? Almost like, yeah, yeah, for real, for real. Next song, Flexed Up. Flexed Up had to grow on me, but it still giving me that energy a little bit, but kind of a new age, a little bit different though. And then Alone in the Studio with My Gun featuring Kodak. Dope song to me. The vibe on it. I wish we had more of this, like two of these. A song like this and another one like it, right? Great feature with Kodak. Written History is my favorite song. Yeah, I love that song. It gives me, like I told you, hustler music vibes. The best chorus actually performed by Lil Wayne on the album. You hear me? The best one. And then we also got Loki's theme, which I told you earlier was kind of cool how he went straight B's up with that one. Because it's something, I almost feel like he never had a bloody kind of song, but the song is real secretive, the way he's putting this shit together and real cool. I liked it. That also grew on me. 7 out of 19. The main takeaways, no growth. You're not the GOAT. This album is not a classic. It's absolutely mid. It's kind bud. And then the biggest takeaway was that You could have changed the whole dynamics of this album with just 2 features, Drake and Nicki. But why did there not be a Drake and Nicki? Like, it's crazy, man. The music industry is kind of weird. I feel like that one song with Drake and Nicki would have resurrected not only a lot of shit, but it would have took this album. I think it would have did 250 first week. You know what I'm saying? What Lil Wayne is still doing numbers that nobody else is doing. But after this, like I said, I was joking when I said it's trash, but it ain't. What it really is, it's not a classic. It's hella mid. It got some jams on it, and I feel like it's a lot of business and payola going on with this. And Lil Wayne did what he had to do to make the record label happy and get his pocket fat again. And that's what it is, though. But if you don't like my review, go do your own review. But also, when you do your review, be on the lookout for Ray Janae Carter, because she's on motherfuckers next. Green Room TV.